Well, hopefully this works better than the last time. I'm still waiting to see it turn up, but at the moment I'm seeing nothing. And let's see, here we go. And that doesn't work. And there. Well, according to this, I'm on. And I'm still not moving. Well, I don't know what's going on. Okay, that's good because I can't hear. And it looks all out of thing to me. I'm just going to pop out the chat and let's get this show on the road, as they say. Right, now I can see what's going on. And say hello to everybody. So who's here? I've got Diana, I've got Exploring Ginger, I've got Joe, Not Your Average Jojo, Hitch Up and Toe, hello Colin, hello Dee Dee, and April's here, Learning Curve Acres is here. Thank you all. That's what I can see at the moment. Sorry for not looking directly at the camera at the moment. I'm trying to work out what's going on. Alan, hello, Lost Weekends, hi, and Go Fish Office. So what's it all about? Well, I've been nagged into going live. Hope you can all hear me. It looks like you can see me now. And hello Jeff, Idiot of the Day, You Know Who Travel. What I intend doing with this live stream is, and future ones if I can get them going, is talk about where we've been at the weekend. And down in the other corner, down there, at the moment you can see pictures that Lindsay took. Not this weekend, that will come when I've got myself sorted out a bit more. Hello Jordan Lawrence. We had a great weekend. We were at Drummond Castle on the Glenlivet estate, right by the River Livet, and totally relaxed. We explored the castle, went for walks, explored the river, and a couple of people fishing, but didn't see any fish. So this week, what have we got coming up on our Donders channel? We have our photo diary tomorrow from Cloddy Moss. Hello Trev and Sue, hopefully, from Posh Cats Camping. We have our photo diary from Cloddy Moss coming up on Monday, that's tomorrow morning. Our Wednesday waffle will be some photographic tips. No, it's somebody was asking about the problem we were having, and my solution is going to be there. Hello Brett, the Urban Stealth Campervan man. That's a mouthful when you're trying to say it. Thank you for coming. And I'm going to do a YouTube challenge response on Wednesday as well to what kind of YouTuber are you? So you'll find out a little bit about me and what I watch on YouTube. And watch out, I may challenge you, or I may not. What else have we got? And then Friday's video is going to be titled This Is Not Dallas. It's the video of Cloddy Moss, and once you see the diary video on Monday, you'll know why it's called This Is Not Dallas. The Thursday coming up is the last Thursday of the month, so that means we have a Throwback Thursday collaboration, and that is with Chillin' with Millin, myself and Karen Summers, and there's usually one or two others in there. Well worth watching to see one old footage and footage from other people. Hello Florida Pilot, thanks for dropping in. And there's another member of the Benison clan, Craig, that's my son. It's wow. Oh dear, just let myself comfortable. Thanks, Bri. It's good to have you here. Now, I'm fairly easygoing, and I'm quite happy for everybody to get to know each other on the stream. And all I ask is the rule that's up there next to my logo. I'm trying to point with this finger. Please respect everyone. Have a look round, say hello to everybody, and get to know everybody, because that's what I do on live streams. Now, who have we got that I haven't said hello to? If I haven't said hello to you, hello. Somebody's talking to Nabal. Sorry, Nabal, if that's I'm getting that right. I didn't see you going through. John Latham and Sleeping Artist ASMR, welcome. It's funny, isn't it? I set out to test thoroughly everything I was doing, and I did an accidental test when learning how to use the software, and it worked fine. I did a test the other night and everything worked fine. What happened today? Everything was set up, ready to roll, went live, and nothing happened. It was working right up to the point when I went live, and then the camera froze. So no idea what happened then. But I'm excited to be here, and excited to have you here. Yeah, that's the law. That or Murphy's Law, hitch up and toe. It is. It's always the way. But it seems to be working now. I don't know. I know I'm supposed to look at the camera, but it's a little difficult to look at the camera and read the chat. Diana, I'm using OBS, and the camera was working itself offline, but it was something with the OBS. The source that I put in to the scene just didn't want to know. It had locked up, so I deleted it, installed another one, and it didn't want to know either. I then rebooted the computer, and that's what took so long. And the reboot of the computer seems to have sorted it. So that maybe is the way to go. Give it a quick kick before I go live next time. So what have we got here? Let's have a look. And I'm seeing Not Your Average Jojo talking to Go Fish Office there, and I've missed where you've said you better, John. Go Fish Office. So it's good to see that, and now I'm looking back up the chat and I can see, and I'm glad you're here today. I'm glad you're feeling better. Aren't they just, Bri? It's a good job that I didn't take a hammer to it, which would be my normal method. And now I'm wondering what Lindsay and Jojo are talking about. That could be me in trouble, probably. And yeah, as I say, we've had a great weekend. Hello, I'm in trouble. No, it's keeping going. Had a great weekend. Thoroughly relaxed and nervous as always to do something like this. But I don't know, Tony. You tell me. How far behind am I? I've just seen your comment now, so I hope I'm not 20 minutes behind like somebody else we know, Tony. And yes, who would have thought of it last weekends? Took a lot to get me to come on here and do this. It's not my kind of thing, but I've been told. No, I haven't been told. It's something I've wanted to do for a while. Just haven't had the gumption to get up and get set up and actually do it. And hopefully things will get better. Hardware wise, it can't get much worse than it just did. We haven't been visited yet by the cat. She hasn't come in and jingled her bells, although the door is now open. It's awfully warm here. It's been a lovely weekend and makes a change. Hello, Joy. How are you? Welcome to the stream. I hope I'm keeping up with everybody. It's I know that it's funny that I've got the chat popped out so I can see it. I don't know how far I'm behind. The computer is now seems to be playing well. I'm not using too much CPU. Any noise you can hear in the background buzzing, that is the computer. I've turned the fan off behind me. No, I got it right first time there. Just cut down on the noise, but it's the computer's a noisy old one, so any noise there, I'm sorry about that. So has anybody got any questions about Desmond's? About why we picked the name Desmond? I think you should all know that now. Why I don't bother correcting anybody who calls me Desmond. As I always say to that, you can call me anything you like, just don't call me late for dinner. It wasn't too bad. I've watched a few videos on it, Sleeping Artist ASMR. I'm not doing a great deal with it. The simple banner going across and the slideshow were quite easy to implement. Hello, this is our retirement. The problem I had was the slideshow. I had looked at what the requirements were, and I thought I'd complied with them, but I hadn't. It's now working and the pictures look okay, I hope. And it was just getting the things right and getting the terminology right about what they meant by. And of course, Jeff had his problems, so that pointed me in one direction, which helped. Nice question, Bri. I see a question on the drone. I hope I'm not missing anything. So let's go with the drone. The drone is doing fine now. It is. I had a few issues this weekend, but that was due to me trying to upgrade the software, and the software for the upgrade not really being up to the task. So I've downgraded that, one or two changes to make, and that'll keep us back, get us back on track. But it worked fine once I downgraded on site, and I've got some good footage from this weekend. Bri, could I choose one favourite place in Scotland? I could actually, but we don't go there anymore. It's a place called Gramore, and it's a caravan and motorhome club site, which I think they now call Altnahara, which is a village about 3 miles away. Gramore was the old clearance village on the site, and that area, Loch Neva and Loch Meady, which we now go to, is one of the most beautiful, peaceful spots in Scotland, bar none. On the other hand, you've seen the places we go to every weekend, and there isn't a bad one really. What does Lindsay use? I know Lindsay's popped an answer down there, and it's an old Pentax. It's a K10. No, it's not. It's a K100D. I have the 10D. It's a stills camera only. Not very high megapixel, but she does a grand job with it, and they're all her pictures down there. Now let's have a look. Hi Kev, the Artful Dodger. And yes, Jeff, I agree. It has a mind of its own, but it seems to have got it sorted now. Andrew Dexter, hello. Old Man Mackie, hi from Slab City. It's a long way from here. Hello Corinne. We are visiting. Where are you visiting with Bertie, Posh Cats? Is that Altnahara? In which case we might annoy you from the we might go and annoy the wardens. There are so many lovely places, Bri. It's difficult to find one not. And Lindsay's finding the chat awfully quick. Yes, she is. But there you go. Somebody says, where are we going to next? I saw that and forgot to answer it. We don't know. We usually know before we set off and then change it. It will be somewhere close. We've just done a longer Donder, so we tend to stay within a 60-mile radius of home for a weekend. And if it's a one-nighter, which this weekend is, we limit it to a 40-mile radius. It doesn't actually limit us, really, because there are so many places, and so many places we've discovered that we didn't know about before we got Desmond 4 years ago. When we had a caravan, we would go away. We very rarely stayed anywhere close, although Craig will probably deny that, because we shocked him one year. We stayed Christmas and New Year at a CL round the corner, and he wasn't impressed when we kept popping back home to pick up things and spoiling his parties. But there you go. That's how it goes. Reeling down. People are talking. That's good. Get to know each other. You'll enjoy Altnahara if you like peace and quiet. It has got what many people say, no facilities. It's got all the best facilities, Trev. I hope you're going on the non-electric end. It's far nicer. The views are much better, even on that small site. But if you're taking electric, you'll just have to walk down there. People talking. Hello, Night's Treks. Olivewood documental. That's hard for me to say. But yeah, I know you're in southern Spain and with dodgy internet. Thank you for joining us. Gigi Adams, hello. I'm doing fine. Good to see you here. 60 miles, yeah, it's a good distance, but I have to either wait for Lindsay to pick up to come in from work, or pick her up from work, Kev. And yeah, it gives us plenty of options. It's and there are loads of them. And I say on a one-nighter, we usually try and limit it to 40 miles. To our Westies, hello. This one's not a test. This is the real thing. And there's Lindsay backing me up. Oh yes, I forgot about the midge repellent. By September, he should be starting to be okay, but I'd still take some. Blondie's Adventures, hello. Lindsay's in the dining room using the Wi-Fi in there, as I think she's already intimated to Joe that she does not want to come on camera. You see the difficulty I have getting her on camera when we're away. Mind you, if she gets wound up about something, then she wants to have her rant. Bunry, yeah, that's a nice site. Nice views from there if you can get on the front. I have a tale from there. I'm not sure whether I've told it actually. I'll check and add it to the list of tales to tell. But back then, Caravan Club took a non-returnable deposit, and the gist of the story is they returned the deposit. The Scottish Air Force is what it is, Bri, and there's plenty of ways of keeping them off. Or saying that if you're not quick, you'll get bit anyway. But Avon Skintersoft worked for us, and one of those midgy blocks, that you heat, run them overnight, and you'll have no problems with midges. But yeah, Lindsay says all of Scotland would be lovely without the midges, but it wouldn't be Scotland, would it? Tony viewed this. I will be telling you about Scotch whisky, but not that awful stuff you're talking about. Yes, I have a Scotch whisky planned, but it's not taking any more. It's just other things keep coming up, but I do have it planned. Yes, that is a Scotch whisky bottle over my shoulder by the soldering iron. It's empty, but I do want to have it planned, and it will come out. Oh good, yes, I'll be talking about that. Never had any issues with midges. Well, you haven't been up to Scotland. The real midgie season is late May to September. A breeze will keep them off. So if you stay up in the mountains, you're usually pretty good for a breeze. And the other thing that keeps the midges away is wind. But most proprietary insect repellents will work. Avon Skin So Soft works for us. The trick is to find one that works for you, and the rain will keep them away. Here we go. Next is, are there any changes you make to Desmond? John, we've actually done an awful lot of modifications to him. Solar panels, extra batteries, my radio gear's in there, LED lights throughout. There is one thing I would like to fit, and that's an EFOI generator. But if you've seen the prices of those, they're ethanol generators. They use a fuel cell, and they just keep your batteries topped up when the solar's not doing its job. It's an expensive add-on and would be what we call on the lottery win outfit. It really is a big outlay. We don't have a problem with solar. Carrying on from there, we have 320 watts on the roof, and we have 330 amp hours of battery. During the period, basically from when the clocks go forward to when the clocks go back, we have a surplus of power. The only time we really struggle when we're away is during the trip in December. And we don't struggle as such, it's just we don't get a full charge on the battery, so there will be a finite limit. We were away a fortnight last Christmas and New Year, and it took 3 days when we got back before the batteries were fully charged. So we're taking more out, but it wouldn't take much to to top the batteries back up to full charge. And I'm going to have to scroll back a bit just to make sure. No, we're okay. And yeah, it's a long trip that Trev and Sue are making. It would be fine to meet up with them then. And nice to see Alan Scammell. Yeah, I've fished with a few people who don't have a problem with midges, and actually in some areas they don't bother me. I used to fish a couple of locks just south of Forres back in the 80s and 90s, and I never got bitten there, but I always got bit further north and further west. It's a strange thing. Colin, the October meet is off. Yes, did you not hear and get a notification? It was cancelled due to unforeseen circumstances. Very disappointed. Artist Somi, welcome. Nibble, I've said hello to you, I believe. Yeah, Artful Dodger was coming up on that one. Yeah, there was a meet at Town Hill in Yorkshire, but the meet-up has been cancelled. Something to do with the pub. So we're having to rethink our October trip, but I'm sure we'll come up with something. Yeah, Alan's videos are great. I agree with you, Pushcats. It's some great sights up the top of those hills. Nothing, Colin? Not understand. Don't understand. What devices does our solar battery setup power? It powers basically the van. We have the normal three-way fridge. Well, obviously it doesn't do much for that except run the electrics to make sure that either the electric or the gas works. We have the cameras, the drone gets recharged off it, Lindsay's phone. Oh, he's retracted that message. Colin is in holiday mode. I'm not surprised Colin's in holiday mode, Kev. He's away, isn't he? And he agrees. He's with holiday mode, big time. This is our retirement. Is Desmond large enough? Not really. The trick is, don't live in the van, live out of the van. Desmond is 6.6 meters long. The back of the van is the fixed bed, which we wouldn't be without, and the toilet and shower. The toilet and shower doesn't need to be that big, for the simple fact there's only two things you do in there. The front of the van has the cooking and sink and fridge on one side, a large cupboard, a seat, and the driver's and passenger seat both rotate. We've had 6 people sat in it, and we've had 4 for a meal. So that it's plenty big enough. And sometimes I actually think something smaller would be nice, because there are some places I'd like to go where I know we can't get. Not for want of trying in some of the places, shall we say. How do you power your radio equipment? What do I use? They come off the same electrics as the rest of the van. I used to have a separate 110 amp hour battery for them, and I may go to that, but when we changed over to the MPPT controller for the solar, we did it with excuse me, we had to put the batteries together. We used to have a dual output which would do equally each battery bank, but I connected all the batteries together, so it runs off that. Gives me roughly 165 amp hours usable. And if you don't use a lot of power, I don't run a kilowatt, which I couldn't anyway. I don't run the 400 watts my license allows me. I rarely use 100 watts. I use 50 to 80 watts, and I've talked around the world without a problem. It's the problem comes in winter when we're on the edge for power. I can use my radios. I do use my radios, but I just don't use them as much. So the power there's fine. My problem is fitting aerials. Don't tell Lindsay I've got plans for another one. Oh. Hello, you do it. Good to see you. Where do I find water and tank emptying? Well, fresh water is relatively easy to get. We've not had a problem except mole. Mole is a different problem. You can normally get it from public toilets, garages. We've not done this. The one place we were going to do it didn't have a proper water supply. It was just a collection. It wasn't very big. Churchyards. Grey and black tank emptying, that's used water. As long as used water, the grey tank doesn't go into a storm drain, then it's fine. It can go down the sewer, or, as we're often told when we were on CLs, just spread your water along the hedgerow. After all, it's only water with dirt in it. It's not like your black tank, your cassette toilet, etc. That kind of tank emptying, we don't use blue chemicals, so there's not really a problem disposing it in a toilet. Just make sure you clean up afterwards. The blue fluid can be nasty up here if you go into a septic tank. There's videos on that, but the stuff we use is actually recommended by the Manny everybody loves from Practical Caravan and Practical Motorhome, and we don't really have that much of a problem. See, I'm in trouble now. Artful Dodger. Somebody, what do you want explaining, Kev? I've obviously missed something. Definitely missed something. Yeah, Kev, I'd love to get her on, but as she says, no chance. I'm looking. Kev doesn't understand solar at all. But, not a lot to understand, really, Kev. Your solar panel produces a potential voltage. Your converter, the solar controller, converts it to a current to charge the battery. And that's about all there is to it. Right, Kev, can I answer what? Can I empty what? I would have no trouble emptying my grey tank in a field. This is the water from the sink and shower. The black tank, if I was going to empty somewhere other than a public toilet, there's all sorts of rules about doing that. You would need to bury it, etc. It's got to be away from a water course. So in general, unless you're pretty sure of the field, no, especially if it's a camping field. Compost toilets can be bagged and binned as far as I know, but I've been told is a no-no. What advice would I give to someone starting out in a motorhome? Know what you want, and that might be difficult. We came from a tent to a caravan to a few caravans before we got the motorhome, and our specification for Desmond was it had to be like our last caravan, but obviously a motorhome, and we just about achieved that. And the extra bit was a fixed bed was what we needed. But hire one first. It's expensive. Hire one first. You might not like it. Take a good look around. Go to dealer after dealer after dealer. Sit in a motorhomes. Sit in all of them. One of them will talk to you. But the biggest bit of advice would be have fun with it. Don't stress about it. Go out and enjoy it. Thanks, Tony. You take care, and hopefully you will come back. It depends on your controller, Kev. You're saying all that panels you've got. It depends whether you've got them in series or parallel. And it depends how much you're using, because a decent controller will use that potential, but it won't use more than it needs, basically. And if you're not using it, it can't put it back in. One day I'll get to see your setup and we can chat about it. But if you don't have to hook up and your batteries are lasting for when you're away, then you don't have a problem. The other thing is, I have seen a lot of videos on YouTube about solar where it's patently obvious they've got no electrical or electronic training. What is MPG in Desmond? It depends on the weight of my right foot. We get between 27 and 30 miles per gallon. There's lots of factors. The wind, how fast we're going. I don't look at the speedometer unless we're in a 30 or 40 mile an hour zone or less. I drive on the rev counter because I know where the power band is, where it's most economic to run, and that's where I run. It means that we're usually running at about 52 to 50 miles per hour on a dual carriageway or motorway. We can do 60, we can legally do 70, and we can do that. But we're on holiday, we're driving around, we're out to enjoy ourselves, not speed anywhere. Kev, yeah, that's exactly what we do. We used to have TV, excuse me, we used to have TV. We no longer have a TV. It's about 2 years since we've had it in the van, and coming up for 2 years since we had it in the house. Oh, and there goes Lindsay going on about 23 miles per gallon. We only get that when we're going up and down hills against the wind, but it averages out about 27 to 30. Yeah, Lost Weekends is a great channel, Jeff. Two banks or one, 440. Yeah, I know how they're split, but it depends on your panels. Are your panels in parallel or series? Thanks, Diana. Yep, please like or smash the like button. It helps in some way, apparently. Yeah, that's I've seen that kind of MPG figure for the big American trucks. I think the diesel ones do get better though, but that's the North American love of gas, isn't it? Raphael Scrapper, hello. I missed you sneaking in there nearly. Yeah, Kev, those big petrol engines over in North America are awful. 6.8 litre V10. Good heavens. That'd be a racing car for me. Enjoy it. Should I stay or should I go? What one piece of advice would you give to a new vlogger is ignore the numbers. Just do it because you enjoy doing it. The numbers will come. You put the output there and people come along to watch it, and the word will get around, and just enjoy it. That's my best advice. Yeah, but I realise that, Trev, but they're a lot cheaper as well. Oh dear, yes, Jeff, I did. All the Doritos have gone. You'll notice you're only getting a head and shoulders shot as well. To explain that to others who didn't see. So one of the ideas was to do the stream naked. Interesting numbers, Colin. That's not a great deal different, is it? Well, thank you, Go Fish. If you saw what I was filming on and the lighting, you wouldn't say that. Colin's Tonka put everything in the shade bri. It was a huge beast. Exactly, Phil and Juliet. Those pictures of that Lindsay takes are phenomenal. I love them. Diana, we don't have the propane on when we're moving. When we're moving, the fridge goes on to 12 volts fed from the alternator. It doesn't cool things down. It keeps it, or tries to maintain the temperature it's at. The propane, we don't run the fridge from propane when we're moving. So hopefully that allays the concerns there. Hi Dromar family, welcome. enjoy both, Kev. And I'm not so sure it would have gone viral. It might have got me banned off YouTube, Jeff. So has anybody got any other questions for myself or Lindsay? Haggis season. Haggis season starts from Burn Supper and finishes the night before Burn Supper the following year, as does whisky season. Hello, Pauline Newman. Good evening, or good afternoon for you. I believe still there. Great to see you here. Just for a point for those that aren't sure, you know there are two species of haggis, and they have two long legs and two short legs. The short legs on the left hand side are for going clockwise around the hill, and the long legs on the right side are for going anti-clockwise around the hill, just for information. And welcome back, Diana. Well, we were coming in October, Bri. We did head to England a couple of times over the last couple of years. And we were in your neck of the woods, except you weren't in your neck of the woods, you'd moved south. We probably won't make it to the south coast of England until I can persuade Lindsay to retire. But you never know. You never know, she might decide she wants to take 2 weeks off, and we'll head down that far. It is a place I want to see. We lived in Cornwall for 3 years, but I used to fish in Devon, but we never sent there. But I want to go to the stones at Avebury. Not too bothered about the henge, but I really would like to see the stones at Avebury. Yeah, sorry, Alan, I did let out a few there, but of course they don't know where they actually live. Take care as well, Phil and Juliet, and I hope you're feeling better, Juliet. Nice one, Raphael. Diana, to explain about the fridge, it's a three-way. On more modern fridges, they detect the power and switch to the best one. Ours isn't that modern, but it is a three-way fridge and it's switchable. We can run it on mains electric, on propane, or 12 volts. On mains electric, it just runs like any other fridge, except it's not a compressor fridge. We run on propane when we're not hooked up, and when the engine is running, it gets a 12 volt feed from the cab, from the alternator, which runs the 12 volt element. In our type of three-way fridge, the 12 volt element is not used with the leisure batteries, the habitation batteries. If it was, it would flatten them in short order. There is a thing called a compressor fridge, which is more like your home fridge, works off 12 volts, and Colin's the expert on them as he's installed one. Yeah, the October meet's not happening, Bri. It was in Town Hill in the North Yorkshire, but it's been cancelled. We are probably going to hit Arran, which is where we were supposed to go when we went to Mull. Is that on the way, Kev? I used to go to East Anglia a lot, Trev. It would be a nice return. I went with my parents to the Norfolk Broads, and I was at Marham on a course for a few months, and we have been to East Anglia and Norfolk Broads twice, with once just me and Lindsay, and once with Craig when he was young. I can recommend anyone in the UK the Norfolk Broads for a great holiday if you have a young child. The rocking of the boat sends them to sleep. In fact, you have to wake them up to feed them. No problem, Dromar family, and it's nice of you to turn up and great to have your support. Yes, Colin did had a lot of issues with his fridge, but it seems to be working now. Diana, Lindsay takes some lovely pictures. Oh, good. That's for Aaron. Yeah, Spidey was with us in Mull, and she comes with us some weekends, but she's getting a little too cocky about disappearing for a length of time, and it's often us waiting for her to come in at night. Thank you all. What's that with reference to, Craig? Right, it's 10 o'clock. This is the time, if I'd got going early, I didn't expect to see, but I got going on time. So I'm pleased to have made it, but I'm going to draw the stream to a close now. Thank you all for coming. I will play with the technical difficulties, get things sorted, and hopefully you'll join me again next week, where I'll be a bit more organised, have a bit more to say, and hopefully see you back then. Thank you everybody for coming by, and we'll see you all next time. I'll be reviewing this video, going over the chat, and anything I missed I'll pop in comments when the video is on, and I'll also check out any channels that I have not seen before and I'm not subscribed to. And thank you for coming. Goodbye for now.